Indie Face Radio.
Indie Face Radio. Indie Face Radio. Indie Face Radio.
Hold up. Indie Face Radio, bang it in your speakers. Other stations wanna be us, but they sound weaker. Terrible T and Corn DZ be your host. Coming to you live straight from the West Coast. Yeah, we the greatest. Keep y'all updated. Stay tuned in and we gon' hit you with the latest news in the game. Food for your brain, whether sun or the rain, we gon' help y'all maintain. Spit a couple lines and watch me kill 'em with the flow. Wanna see you live taping, just select a video. Indie Face in your face all day, live on the air. See you hear us anywhere, yeah.
Indie Face Radio. Indie Face Radio. Radio. Indie Face Radio. Indie Face Radio.
Welcome. The name of the show is Indie Face Radio. I'm your host, Terrible T, man. It is a wonderful, wonderful day in L.A. My main man that's by my side, Mr. Corn DZ. He not here now. I know what y'all thinking. Y'all thinking, man, he's stuck in traffic again. Because I always say he's stuck on them joints, man. No matter what freeway you on, this time afternoon, you gonna be stuck, man. But guess what? There's another reason. Mr. DZ just had a little DZ. Cornelius Prince Edwards Jr. is in the building. He was born yesterday, man. He was born yesterday. Shouts out to Corn, DZ, and Marie, man. They got a little Daisy, man, a little Daisy. So, of course, he can't be here with us, man. But I told him, I know he at the house kissing and hugging all on the baby and everything. I told him to just call in, man. So he said he's going to try to call in during the first hour. So y'all go ahead. Reach out to me, 1-800-893-9562. 1-800-893-9562. If you know DZ, if you want to, get a shout out to him and congratulate him on his new bundle of joy. Now, the first hour of the show is going to be power-packed as always, We're going to try to play some of that new independent music. We got some folks from a brand new tequila company. They're a little late. I think they stuck in that traffic. They must be out there on the 5 or the 10 or something like that, So they run a little late. And second hour of the show, we're going to do the industry roundtable, part 2. We got some folks in the industry that's going to be blessing us with their presence and dropping some knowledge, man. We got my main and Ryan Bantu, director. We got Kelly DeArtis, which is he's an executive over at Disney, We got my main man, David Biaggi. He's an actor, a writer, and a producer. And a fella that I've been knowing for quite a while, Mr. Ron Brewington. He does it all. If I list all his credits, we'll be here till tomorrow, So the number to call, 1-800-893-9562. I'm waiting for these tequila people to come because I'm ready to taste some of this, man. Now, I'm going to give y'all, this is what the packaging looked like. Oh, my man. Oh, my God. So I'm waiting for them to come up in here to serve us up and tell us all about their company, man. Because, just look at the packaging. Do you see that? Oh, my God. So this is your boy, Terrible T. If you want to hit me up, 1-800-893-9562. Again, 1-800-893-9562. This is Indie Face Radio. We're going to go with 2 songs right quick. And when we come back, hopefully they'll be on the other side out of that traffic hollering at your boy, man. This is Terrible T. This is how we do it.
Yes, sir. Forgive me for my sins. I'm only human. trying to go through the drama no more. Lord, forgive me, cause I sure don't know. Where I'm headed, it's a dead-end road. I'm just asking you to save my soul. Cause I'm weak, but I still got faith. Plus, I know you gon' make everything straight. Most of my homies either dead in the pen, and some won't ever see these ghetto streets again. Some of them act like they don't know me when I pass by. I done learned not to trip or even ask why. Remember praying to you on my last high. God, don't let my heartbeat stop. I ain't ready to die. I just pray that you take the taste away and help me get away, because I do need space. I don't mean to lust. Sometimes I act mannish. This world is crazy and I don't understand it, but Lord, I'm trying. But everybody losing their mind, cause we lost and we steadily dying. It's a cold world, and I already know that we all gotta die, but I ain't ready to go. October 27, 1973, a black woman gave birth to a G. You know the time, the place to stop sick. I'm from the city of the scandalous, and y'all know this. It's out of control, I gotta stay buzzed. It's a hell of a lot different than it was. Will we make it to the next day? Oh, for sure, cause we go for what we know, me and my other bigger bros. Time keeps slipping, so take a look. As a G from the east moved from Stop 6 to Murderbrook, barely making it through high school. Mama told me about days like this on the cool. She said everything that glitter ain't gold. Watch what you're doing, don't lose your soul. It's all gravy, and because all that, I proceed to get game and know exactly how to act. Lord, I'm trying. But everybody losing their mind, cause we lost and we steadily dying. It's a cold world, and I already know that we all gotta die, but I ain't ready to go. But I'm tired. Take me away, cause I ain't happy here. It's enough to make a grown man shed a tear. Lost my mama and her brother in these past years. It's been seeming like everything's gone wrong, but life goes on. I don't know who to turn to or what's next. Seem like the world is only made of drugs, alcohol, and sex. Got me fumbling with the devil's nectar. My girlfriend left me cause she said I disrespect her. I ain't tripping, I gotta press on. I've held back a whole lot and been stressed for so long that I could lose it at any minute and bring havoc to this place, so they call me Mr. Two-Face. Now I'm in a no-win situation, county bound cause I violated my probation. Police, I'm just as important as they are, so now they giving me chances like Robert Downey Jr. Lord, I'm trying. But everybody losing their mind, cause we lost and we steadily dying. It's a cold world, and I already know that we all gotta die, but I ain't ready to go. Not at all.
Look at me with the stogie up in there. Coindeezy had a little Deezy yesterday. Congratulations. I had to pull this out, man. Everybody know I don't smoke what. You know, it's still in a rapper. You know, I do. I'm just, it ain't bubblegum either. It's a real one. I just don't partake in those type things. But I had to bring it out for my boy. Indie Face Radio, 1-800-893-9562. You know, we still waiting on the tequila people, man. Where are they? I don't even know, man. But we're gonna fill in, you know, because this is what we do, man. We just hit y'all with a double play. The first one was my main man, 6'2", Cold World, you know, from Dallas Fort Worth area, and the second one, Never Too Much, man. Never Too Much. That's my baby, man. John from the group Troop, man. He hit me up this week and was like, "Can you play this?" First of all, it's a Troop, so you know I was going to play it. But when I heard his rendition of that Luther Vandross song, oh, man. So, John, you got to come into the studio, man. He promised me he's going to try to make it real soon. So, that's a nice one. We're going to keep that in rotation, man. So, to fill in, man, we're going to go into some current events, man. I got my main man, Ron, over here. Sister, what's up, man? What's up? What's happening? What's happening, man?
What's up, West Coast?
So, a lot of stuff happening in the news, man. A lot of stuff happening in the news, man. A lot of stuff happening in entertainment field, but a lot of stuff happening in just news in general, you know, current stuff. Ray Rice situation, man.
Oh, boy.
Ray Rice situation. What is your take on it? And do you think what the league handed down was fair?
It's been a lot of talk of that on the sports radio.
I'm
sure everybody's been hearing it.
Yeah.
I want to first say my condolences to Janae, his wife,
right,
and her family, and for Ray and everybody that's going through this. This has brought up a lot of stuff going up for the society, right, and how we deal with relations and domestic issues.
Uh-huh.
But I definitely I think the league is handling it right. I mean, I think they've seen the tape. And all the information is coming out that they have seen the tape beforehand, and he shouldn't be back on the field.
Okay.
At least for a year. Just my perspective.
Okay.
And I think Roger Goodell, he needs to get dealt with it as well. He needs to have something because he was aware of the tape.
Right.
And he tried to give him 2 games when he knew it was more. He knew he should have had more.
So you believe in your heart of hearts that if not Goodell, but someone in the league office saw that tape in April?
Oh, yeah. Henry Levin, is that his name from TMZ?
Henry Levin, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So I listened to Harvey Lennon, excuse me. So I listened to an interview that he had yesterday, and he actually said he has a league source inside that knows for a fact that somebody in the league office has actually saw that tape beforehand. I mean, and they're going to probably be releasing something, TMZ, on that fact pretty soon.
Now, let me ask you this, though, since we brought up, the TMZ is the one who leaked this. What is your whole take on TNT is now the place to go to for anything? They are the new CNN. CNN, if you want something. And then what tripped me out is I didn't even know this either. I didn't know they had started a new division called TMZ Sports.
That's right.
This is where this came from.
That's right.
They everywhere.
That's right. Right. Well, I'm going to tell you, that guy, the owner of it, he's been around for about 30 years. Yeah, and they're actually owned by Time Warner Viacom. So they're a subsidiary of it. So they have people on the ground, boots on the ground, to get information. So they definitely are now coming to be the source of information, be it entertainment or be it sports. So I want to say for the athletes and the entertainers out there, you guys need to make sure your stuff is together.
Yeah, and anybody, because they everywhere. I mean, I know they got all the cabbies, hotel people, airport people. They on the payroll.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what they pay, but I know that they on the payroll because you can't get that information that quick unless you have all those people, So.
Oh, yeah. And for all the cats coming up, because this is Indie Face Radio.
Indie Face Radio.
You guys coming up, make sure this social media does not get you before you even get to the top.
There you go.
Keep your house clean right now, fellas. So when you get up there, you ain't got nothing to worry about.
Okay, great way to bring that back around, man. Like I said, we waiting on them tequila folks, man. I've been trying to sip some of this, but one thing that I'm excited about, the last show we had a lot of cats from down south. They came in and represented it. The Hog Music Tour was in here, Young Slab. We got a brand new song from him we getting ready to bust to the world, man. He hit me up with it, and I was like, oh, my God. So that's coming up, man. For people down south who are getting a chance to purchase his album before the rest of the world see it, this is what it looked like. It's the same as the single. Same artwork. So, that young man is blowing up, man. I think he got a lot of things going good for him. Got a great team behind him, past the President Entertainment, and I cut for him. The fact that they came all the way down here, they came all the way out here from Texas and Arkansas to bless us in the studios last month was a testament to their willpower and their desire to make it in the industry, man.
That's grinding, man. That's grinding. That's getting your grind on.
Yeah. Now, the airline they flew on was Spirit. Boy, they had some stories about Spirit, man, but they made it. They didn't fall out the sky.
Oh, yeah. I respect that hustle. I respect that game. They getting in it.
Oh, yeah. Spirit, man. Spirit was on it, man. Hey, got my boys here, so, man, it is what it is, man. A lot of other stuff. Next month on October 16th, Def Jam is celebrating 30 years. Ooh. 30 years. They having a big shebang, man, at the Barclays Center. Any and everybody. You didn't even have to be on Def Jam. Everybody is trying to perform on this show, and they trying to get it all down on October 16th. Def Jam 30 years. It's going to be a blast, man.
That's going to be crazy.
I know you grew up on... because you're from New York, right?
From the Bronx all day.
So you know what's up, man.
That's going to be crazy. I know LL going to have to start it off with Rock the Bells. I hope they give him that respect.
You know what, though? You know what I said? I said, I don't know how much time they're going to have, but it would be great if they did like a montage of music from like the start of it all the way on up to now. Oh, yeah. So start out with LL.
Oh, yeah.
And then follow straight on through. I know that they're going to try to hit certain things, but what if they just followed the whole thing?
LL, Run DMC.
Oh, man.
It's crazy right
Public
there.
Enemy.
That's crazy right
there.
Oh,
man. They had the Beastie Boys on there, too.
Beastie Boys is crazy.
Yeah.
Shout out to LL. He got a whole new album coming out, and he had a single with Murder Mook and Raekwon, it's ridiculous, crazy.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
He's getting it in right there. He keeping it to the streets. Shout out to LL on that.
Yeah, man. Last year, Saturday Night Live was catching a lot of flack, man, for not having a lot of African Americans on, and they brought the sister in, and just announced yesterday that they got a brother now that's going to be doing the weekend update. Michael Chi, he's supposed to have a little name for himself in the industry, so they tapped him to do that, and I think he's supposed to start like next weekend, something like that. So, that's one of the things I want to talk to about. I want to talk to the folks that's coming on the second half of the show because they industry vets. I want to find out about the diversity and the television, film, and stage worlds, and find out where have we gone?
Yeah.
Where are we going?
Oh, yeah.
And those are the people who can answer it best. I wanted to touch on a little bit about, the what's going on with all this uprising with these black folks being gunned down by these police officers, man. I mean, what's up with that, man?
Dude, we having a lot of issues going on right now socially.
Yeah.
I mean, people getting gunned down, putting their hands up.
Putting their hands up,
still getting gunned down.
Yeah.
And then we got the cats in Tennessee. They went and shot a Kroger's, and they started beating on this white cat outside, and they caught it on tape. It was on YouTube.
Yeah.
I mean, we socially, guys, we are just in a mess, and we got to get a hold of this before this just gets out of hand, man. I mean, with the gangs and everything, the gang violence, and the cops are now starting to get a little trigger happy.
Right.
We need to make sure as minorities, black and brown, that we're able to take care of ourselves and make sure that we understand the climate of society right now. And we,
I brought that up because I'm kind of veering off from the entertainment thing, but I'm going to bring it back around because Fox News was saying that, well, all this is going on. When it's all said and done, they're going to make a movie about it, and that's going to give some brothers some more work in the industry. And I'm like, did you have to go there? I mean, man, so I don't know what their angle is sometimes. It's mind-boggling to me, man, so.
Yeah, we have to stay focused as a people. We have to make sure that we are doing the right things and that the right people are representing our culture.
Right.
Whether it's hip-hop, whether it's in music, whether it's in entertainment, whether it's just young kids that we're trying to mentor growing up in the area. Because right now we are definitely under siege.
Right.
And the cops themselves, they're a little trigger happy and a little afraid because there's a lot of gang violence going on right now. It's kind of feeling a little bit like the 80s, late 80s, early 90s right now, right? A little bit of climate like that.
And it's hot out there,
too.
Yeah,
it's hot.
Ooh-wee.
Oh, it gets real hot.
Yeah. And with me bringing up the dimension of the film, I wanted to segue into this, though. One of the industry vets that's been around for a long time, I had a chance to work with this cat in Dallas for a brief moment when he had his video show. Industry vet, everybody knows him, Mr. Russ Parr, is making a name for himself in the film and TV world. And he got a brand new film that's coming out with Loretta Devine and Tatiana Ali called Comeback Dad. And this dude here, man, Russ he's slowly but surely building a resume, man.
Nice.
On the other side, he's still doing the radio thing, man, but he's tackling Hollywood and doing his thing, man.
Yeah, he got big heavyweights in there.
Oh yeah. He done crossed over the threshold now, and he's taking meetings with people who can really green light films. It was a process, but now he knows, and they believe in his brand and his product, and that's the key. When you just coming in there and they don't really know who you are, they don't know exactly how we can make a profit off of this. We don't know what your vision. We don't know if this will work. But he's coming there with a little resume now, and they taking him serious, man.
Oh, and we got to support
man, Russ Parr.
Hopefully, we can support him when he gets out there.
Now, I'm still waiting on these tequila people, man, because I want my shot. Now, if they don't show up, they gonna owe me a couple of cases, and I'm gonna pass it on to everybody too. They got to show up, man. But until then, The second half of the show, we got some industry vets in here, and they're going to break it down for you. If you're trying to be an actor, a writer, producer, director, they got the answers for you. These people are on point, man. So make sure you check out the second half of the show, 1-800-893-9562. Still trying to get Deezy to call in, man. Hey, with the baby, man. He's playing Dada. He doing his thing, but we're going to play 2 songs. You're going to come back, and hopefully, magically, them tequila people will be on the other side so we can toast up the way we supposed to on this Friday. It's your boy, Terrible T, man. We're going to play 2 songs, and we'll be right back.
Hey, this Kid B for Indie Face Radio. Hey, it's the In Your Face Radio, what it do? Shouts out to Terrible T and Corn, Deezy, hallelujah. We in California, popping beats and blowing mics. We had a good time, it's time to shine. Now we gotta go up fly, but don't worry, we'll be back and still on the same grind. So tune in and enjoy it. Don't forget we on lock, can't stop our time, can't stop our flow, can't stop the shine. Run into the dope, we out the building. Next time, no, can't stop till you get In Your Face Radio. INDIEFACE Radio. This is how it's going down, gotta let you know. INDIEFACE Radio. This is how it's going down, gotta let you know. INDIEFACE Radio. This is how it's going down, gotta let you know. INDIEFACE Radio. This is how it's going down, Interface Radio.
Yeah. Check. I cry an ocean, it's frozen, I'm riding in slow motion. Too potent to own it, overthrowing and overgrowing. Overcoating, I'm knocking, doning, this overdosing. Off the shock and your chakras. Louder notes than operas. Noob smoke shot you, got your hot bars, they rock you to the end of time like Pop. Who shot you? Oh, Lord, please come save me. Maybe we can find a better truth. Drop your mind out in the trash, shoot, latch you. Stay crunchy like a cashew, ask you. Tears filling up a river past a statue. There's no liberty that I can see. Just my people stuck in poverty. Classes and property, mistakes of repetition, obviously. Let's start a better planet. Granted, it's harder than granted. You misunderstand it, demand it. Changes a semantic. If you want it, then you can have it. Damn it, reach out and grab it, grab it. I cry the river. I cry the river. You cry the river.
Some people cry from being overjoyed. Some people cry from being unemployed. Some people cry cause pigs killed their boys. Some people see wrong and they still rejoice. Some people can't cry and say kill the noise. Cry me a river, build me a bridge. Keep your chin up, keep a stiff upper lip. This is my blood, sweat, and tears. I can't up and quit. I cry for the less fortunate, for the orphan kids in the orphanage, for the third world countries where they're forced to live, for the poor cause the wealth ain't proportionate. We need a change, yeah, a metamorphosis. Rearrange the world, a contortionist. For crying out loud, it's a crying shame. They do us wrong and feel right as rain. Hey, but tears will never hide the pain. The time is now, and it's time for change. I cry a river, yeah. I cry a river, yeah. I cry a river, I cry a river, yeah.
Brothers in the street whack, need $1 black, colder than aloe, the shadow where we living, rather live up in the weed stack, feed that, food for thought, yo, don't be showing me off the shoes you bought, nobody gives a what, fist up, revolution in this mug, herbals all up in this blunt, authors trying to pick it up, drying up the tears after years that I lost my moms, it's crazy ain't it what we overcome, man, I just can't up and run, like Forrest Whitaker, Xavier, curricular, cerebral, ventricular, different literature, as if I was a rhyme whisperer, I cry a river. I cry a river, I cry a river.
What up, what up? It's your boy, Terrible T. Indie Face Radio is the name of the show. You know, those tequila people, man, I promise you, when they finally do show up, we get like 3 cases, man. We get 3 cases. And I'm passing on to everybody.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it might be 4.
Oh, yeah.
You know, but, we got a lot of folks, man, that's trying to call in, and we got one cat, man, down south, been blessing us, with the music, and I spoke on it earlier. He came all the way up here from down south. I think we got my man Young Slab on the line. What's up, caller?
What it do?
What up, man? What's happening? What's happening?
Congratulations, Cohen Deezy.
Oh, Cohen Deezy doing his thing. He ain't in here, man. He at the
he ain't in there?
He at the house kissing all on the baby and stuff, man.
Oh yeah,
I know it's his baby kissing all on it and hugging it. What's up with that, man? Yeah, but he's doing his thing, man. He came in yesterday, man. 9/11, man. Just came on in.
Oh man.
So how you feeling, man? How you feeling?
Man, I'm feeling blessed, man. Came back home to some superstardom.
Now, for the people who don't know, this is Young Slab, man, recording artist from down south. Him and the whole team just came out here last month, was on the show, man. Just took over the whole studio, man, on that Hog Music tour, man. And you was up in the house, man, representing, man. Got to play your song. Now, tell me, man, you got a new song. We're gonna play a little bit later. Tell everybody the name of it, and who produced it, and just tell me how you feeling about it, man. Because I heard it, and oh my God,
man, the song is called Akalika.
Akalika.
It's produced by Magnolia Elvis.
Magnolia Elvis, who was in here with us last month as well.
Yeah.
Akalika.
Man, basically the song is about, that cat that came from the hood that never had nothing. And when he finally get that chance of fame and he started seeing all this stuff, getting all this money, started seeing different stuff, he's just like a cat that ain't never had nothing.
And he started acting like something, huh?
Yeah, so yeah.
I love it. Akalika. Boy, let me tell you, man.
Some of that country shit.
Look, look. I spent a lot of my time down south too, and I know the slang. Because a lot of times when people start talking, they don't understand what you talk about. Akalika. You know what I'm talking about. You looking at me like you acting like a fool. They don't understand it. They don't understand it, man. They don't understand it, man.
Calm down this way. You know a little bit of it.
So Akalika, when did you start working on that, man? Because when you was out here, I didn't hear you talking about it.
Man, the song had been finished. It's just been in my just been on my playlist, man. I was just ready for the right time to just speak on it when it was ready. Top had to get it mixed and mastered and fix a couple of things on it.
Okay. All right, so we've been playing No Turning Back, so we're going to play Akalika too a little bit later in the show. So the name of the album is called what, man?
God's Gift.
God's Gift. And as far as the album is concerned, are you finished with it? Are you trying to tweak it? Are you to add some more songs? Where are we with this project right now?
See, the album done. I'm just putting out singles to get people ready for the album.
Ah.
So they know what they're getting before they buy it.
Gotcha. That's what it is.
That's what we messed up last time. See, we just put out a whole album without putting out singles, and people didn't really know me when I first came out. So
they know you now.
Why they didn't want to buy it? Yeah, now they know me now.
They know you now.
I just went to the store a while ago and hopped out, and I sold like 4 CDs at the corner store.
Back then, they didn't know you.
Now I'm hot. They all on me.
I thought you was gonna finish that. Yeah, man. Well, I appreciate you coming down here and making the effort. Who do you know is gonna get on a plane and go to a whole nother region and kick off your tour, man? You know what I'm saying? You did that, dude.
Gotta be hungry, man. I'm hungry for this.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So, do you got any, do you plan, is a visual on this Akalika, man? Is the video going to be dropping pretty soon on this? I mean, what's up, man?
Oh, yeah. We're going to Dallas to shoot the video.
Oh,
One of my partners going to throw a big party, rent out the club.
Yeah, man.
Got some cars lined up. I got a big house I'm going to use out there.
Don't bring Jerry Jones. Because he be having them little young freaks. Jerry be having some folks up, but they be get too much trouble, man. Yeah, Jerry.
Trying to get some of them cowgirls.
I know that's right, man. Well, hey, man, I appreciate you calling in, man. We're going to...
I appreciate y'all, man.
Hey, man, we're going to bust that single wide open, man. We're going to play it a little bit later, man. But the name of the song, again, is Akalaka. All right, man. Any shout-outs, man? The floor is yours. You want to give a shout-out to anybody, man, before we get ready to move on?
Man, I want to shout out my label, Pastor President ENT, my label, Hog Music, and my whole team, Club Key, Magnolia Elvis, and I got to salute y'all brothers for having me, and dealing with my situation, making it a whole lot better now.
Yeah, man, of course, man. Well, you always welcome. You're always welcome, man. When you're in town, man, just slide on through, man. That's how we do it, man.
Already, we planning the next couple trips, man, so we will be back.
All right, man. Well, that's Young Slab, man, calling in. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
All right, y'all go to hogmusic.com, man, and check out. That's my one-stop shop. Anything you need from me, you can get it off of there.
He got it. He got it for you, man.
Already.
All right, Young Slab, man.
All right, Terrible T, y'all hold it down.
All right, appreciate it. Hey, Young Slab, man, like I said, he came out here, man, just got on that. Like I said, they flew on Spirit Airlines, and boy, let me tell you, they had some stories about Spirit.
That's that love, man.
I had never heard of this airline before. Oh, my God. Oh, man. Cheap, but, boy, hold on to your seat when because it's going to be a bumpy ride.
You know what? I'll say, listening to Home Duke, he sound hungry. He sound real hungry, real humble. And that's what I think we miss in hip-hop.
Yeah,
from the ground roots level, the underground level, where people were real hungry to get back and they was on top of their craft and they was ready to do whatever. Yeah. That's when hip-hop was really thriving. So I hope we get back to that. So shout out to him and his crew.
Yeah,
hope we can get some more of that.
Who you digging, man, in hip-hop right now, man? Who hot, man?
I like that Loudy thing right now. He got that stripper bop.
Okay.
That's crazy right now. With him and Jim Jones, they got a little remix that's popping.
Gotcha.
That's popping. Jim Jones got a whole new album coming out. I heard that. Shout out to K Slade and those cats back in New York. I heard that last week. He got a whole new joint coming out. Jim Jones with a bunch of cats on it. So listen, waiting for that Jim Jones joint. Always Lil Drake, but I like the underground cats. The cats that's not all the shiny and all the shiny suits and all in your video. And all in your video.
I know where you're going with that. I know where you're going. All in your video and you're doing all this and doing all that, man. But, the 80s, that was a great time for me.
Oh, man.
I miss it so much because I was part of that industry.
Oh, yes.
It was, we don't have the labels spending the money that they did back in the day. You don't see street teams out going up inside a pole doing up posters.
That's right.
I don't see them in the clubs no more passing out flyers. I don't see all this promotional stuff that they do with the bus tours and going over, making sure that everybody from the DJs to the VJs was taken care of.
Oh, yeah.
Look, man, if you had a single that was getting ready to be blown up, them labels make sure that you was taken care of.
Oh, yeah.
Because you had to play it.
Oh, yeah.
They invited you all these exclusive luncheons and dinners, and you had the backstage passes. And all of it's gone.
Remember the showcases?
Oh, the showcases. Look, dude, I remember going to the mall. Just going to the mall. You just shopping. And all of a sudden, man, over the food court, this brand new artist named R. Kelly is performing.
Oh, yeah.
And then you don't know who and then 3 months later, he done blew up.
He done blew up.
Blew up.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. Speaking of R. Kelly, he still got a little bit of old school in him because last year he dropped the album Black Panties, right? And he did a show at Jimmy Kimmel. Now, what he did was he came to show up. He printed up some shirts with the date of the album release on it and, logo and stuff on the back. Didn't tell the label he was going to do it.
Oh.
Just showed up. So labels there, represent, with the posters and stuff like that. So his team at Jimmy Kimmel just opened up the boxes of T-shirts and started passing them out.
Oh, that's what's up. That's back in the days. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I know for a fact his label didn't know about it because there was some people from his label that I know was there, and they said, I didn't even know he was going to do that.
Oh, that's what's up.
That's how you got to do it, man.
Oh, you know what? Also, being on the West Coast, I want to shout out the cats in the Bay. Got to shout out Too Short.
Yeah.
I mean, you talk about grassroots. Too Short and those cats
all
up
the time.
there. Oh, they started it from the trunk. That's just what they did.
Yeah, man. I want to give a shout out to the folks over at Rogers and Cowan, man. They are representing the Miles Davis family. Don Cheadle got a movie documentary that he's been trying to put out for the longest, man. Miles Davis is called Miles Ahead, and he had a Kickstarter campaign on Indiegogo, and they finally reached their goal, for the amount of money that they was trying to raise. And I know that Cheadle had been trying to get this thing put together for a very, very long time, man. They was asking, for money, and there's different tiers, whatever. And they reached their goal, and they are finally getting ready to start this project, man, called Miles Ahead, man. It's Miles Davis project, man.
Icon.
Yeah.
I said icon right there.
I got a little connection with the Miles Davis family. I've told the story, plenty of times, and we are going to get them in here.
That's beautiful.
Pretty soon, because we had some ties and some stuff I did with them back in the day, so it's all good. Miles.
What other icon would you like to see a movie made of? Let me ask you that question.
What icon would I like to see a movie made? Let me see here. That's a very good question. I would like to see a couple of brothers just from my neighborhood that I grew up just idolizing. No one really, like my uncle passed away, and he owned like 3 barbershops, man. Hardworking cat, man. Did it on his own, didn't get no money from anybody, and I grew up idolizing this cat because he really was the father figure in my life. People like that. Mm-hmm. I think a lot of people either they get overlooked or there's projects in the work, but there's politics, because, you hear about when the stories come about and they say, well, we finally got it done, but, we've been working this for a long time,
Mm-hmm.
And so there's a lot of projects that we don't know about that's in the pipeline.
Mm-hmm.
But I like just everyday hero folk,
Gotcha.
who've made an impact in the community. I like stuff like that.
Gotcha.
Now, and to you, now, you might not have the same viewpoint, but who would you like to see a movie made of?
That's a great question. I'm probably going to think outside the box here.
Okay.
I would love to see Eddie Murphy's story, why Eddie Murphy can still play himself.
Oh, yeah?
I would love to see that. Let Eddie Murphy play himself as he got older. I would love to see it while he's here. Nobody here will be able to play him and tell his story better than him.
That's what I'm talking about.
I don't want to wait till he's gone. I want to see Eddie while he's here. Especially do Raw again. That's probably the only way we get him to do Raw again.
Oh, man. Yeah, man. And, the comedians today, man, they're trying to make a comeback, man. They're doing a lot of stuff. I know the BET has brought back Comic View, and there's a lot of avenues right now for comedians, and a lot of them are getting a lot of the deals, man, to do their own show.
Oh yeah, Kevin Hart's killing it.
Yeah, is wonderful time. Now, if you want to holler at us, 1-800-893-9562. Now, by now, I'm supposed to be real toasty. Real toasty, man. Look. I got an empty glass. The tequila folks didn't show up. They done shot me a ghost. I don't know what to say, but it now done went up to 6 cases. Oof. They come on the show, they got to bring me 6 cases, man.
6.
And I'm passing it on to the folks, man.
Oh, yeah.
What is that? No call? No nothing?
No.
I mean,
no. Mm-mm.
How
about we make it up?
I could have had people on this show, man.
Oh, yeah.
But you know what? Got the gift of gab. I know what to do, so it's all good, man.
You keeping it flowing,
Oh, yeah,
bro.
we got to. And, on top of that, we got music for days because I love to play indie music. It's what I do. And if you want to holler at us, just off the cuff, any topic, 1-800-893-9562 is the number. The lines are open. You holler at my man, holler at me. We here. We're going to play 2 songs. When we come back, I hope the tequila people are here. But if they do come, they're going to have 5 minutes. We're just going to sip and go, sip and go, sip and go. Terrible T, Indie Face Radio, man. We play 2 songs. We'll be back in just a second.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Damn.
And make the whole place jump. I step on stage and make the whole place jump. I step. Woo-wee. Wall to wall. Hey, baby, come here. This club packed from wall to wall. Popping bottles with the baddest bras. Let us show you how we ball. We got money to blow. I'm acting like a. I'm so fly, I don't need wings. Catch me with a bad chick and her girlfriends. Watch me do my thing. I rock a big chain and rip a big gang. You know the name. I'm about to ball on these LeBron James. Act a fool in the club, we buy everything. Smoke pollutes my VIP. If she look too young, she gon' have to show ID. Crowd turned up, cause the DJ playing my songs. I'ma keep this jumping to 6 in the morning. So what you wanna do? What you wanna do? I got a pocket full of money and my partners with me too. I don't pay for them. If them girls wanna, I'll murder them. Popping black bottles on my boss. Young and I'm getting it. Acting like a. This club packed from wall to wall. Popping bottles with the baddest bras. Let us show you how we ball. We got money to blow. I'm acting like a DJ, make the whole place. 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 I got poppin' like Club Lim on Sunday. I'm way too gone, retarded the dumb way. Walk inside the store, tell them give me the whole wall. Pocket full of hundreds, for me they shut down the whole mall. Swag in my strut, hand in my cup. We gon' tear this up, all bad. Twerk some, toot that up. Throwing up the hood, me and my in the picture. Thanks and stunning, showing cash. House music, don't act. This year I'm hopping out of something that goes fast. Money ain't changed me, I'm just getting what I never had. My chick bad like some strippers I know. When I step on stage, I get the people what they want. Fuller than liquor, I'm about to make the whole place jump. About the whole city. This club packed from wall to wall. Popping bottles with the baddest bras. Let us show you how we ball. We got money to blow. I'm acting like a DJ, make the whole place. 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 Damn. And make the whole place jump. I step on stage and make the whole place jump. I step on stage and make the whole place jump. I step on stage and make the whole place jump. I step.
Rock on! Yeah, what I'ma do? I'ma introduce y'all to some of the greatest that's ever done it. Greatest of all time. But before I do that, Chris, give them that. Gonna turn it up. Rock on. Yeah, bring the sirens out. Rock on. It's Uncontrollable Tones. It's the album, baby. Listen. I'm rock, I'm hip-hop, I'm b-boy fresh. I'm music, I'm soul, I'm cool in the flesh. Speak the blues, but I'm funk, never been no chump. I'm jazz when I walk, country works when I talk. I rock on like Guns N' Roses, crash the stage like corn. You've been warned, hit the stage like the woo in a swarm. Jump in the crowd like I'm Ozzy on some Black Sabbath shit. Spit fire out my mouth like I'm related to Kiss. Victor Wooten, rock the bass, the fleck tone sound great. Can't forget about the roots, rocking at Jimmy's place. Kurt Cobain, Clown Posse's flow is insane. Cypress Hill got him going local in the membrane. Local in Della Cabeza, nobody do it better. The Crusader street life, giving you nothing less to feel the pain, release the pressure. Undeniable Soul music mixture, close your eyes and guarantee I can paint a vivid picture. Let's ride. Ready to ride, ready to roll, ready to ride, ready to roll, ready to ride, ready to roll. Hip hop at its finest with so much soul. Who was he to even say that his was better than yours? Who was he to claim that he did it better than before? Who are you to come here and try to act so bold? It's all music at its finest with so much soul. A reincarnated Hendrix, Bob Marley, no gimmicks. Rolling Stones rolling with the Eagles and the Spirits. Billie Holiday lifted in London town. This black dude, he killing Elvis. They call him James Brown. Herbie Hancock on the keys, contagious like a disease. Cool in the game, gave us swag and taught us how to MC. Kumo D, Easy E, or Eric Wright, it's all the same now. Some might trip on how I stacks my grip. I gotta have this music. Michael Jackson's vocals therapeutic. King of pop ain't dead, Thriller forever lives. The Mad Lads, Baby Huey, along with Percy Sledge. Elder Barge's Rhythm of the Night got you ready to dance. Ronnie Law's Tidal Wave got him drowning in jazz. Ready or not, you can't hide the Delphonics is here. Temptation smoother than butter. Otis Redding for the lovers. George Benson, Barry White with a million others discovered. Ready to ride, ready to roll, ready to ride, ready to roll, ready to ride, ready to roll. Hip hop at its finest with so much soul. Who was he to even say that his was better than yours? Who was he to claim that he did it better than before? Who are you to come here and try to act so bold? It's all music at its finest with so much soul. Let's take him to the bridge. Yeah. Straight to the bridge. Yeah. Feel it in your soul. Yeah. Turn it up.
Indie Face Radio. I am your host, Terrible T. We're back on it. The number to call in, 1-800-893-9562. Again, 1-800-893-9562. We just hit you with a double play, man. Had my man Young Slab on earlier. Played his song first, Akalaka. I love that. Akalaka. And then, we wrapped it up with my main man, Cool, from the known ENT Rock On, man. Cool also does the intro to the show, man. So shout out to them brothers, man. But Young Slab, Akalaka, man. I love it, man. I love it. And I'm going to try not to act like a fool about these tequila folks that ain't showed up, man. It now done went up to 8 cases. I'm about to charge for 8 cases, and I'm going to pass it on. I don't know where they at, man. But you know what? We're going to start the second part of the show a little faster. I got one of the cats up in here, someone that I respect tremendously. He has so many titles that we could be talking till tomorrow. He's done so much in the industry. And I'm not going to even try to do him any less of justice. I'm just going to let him tell you who he is and what he does in the industry.
Thank you, Terrible T. Okay. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here on a Friday afternoon here in downtown Los Angeles, California.
Oh, yeah, man. See, you got that voice. You got that voice. That's that radio. Yeah.
Thank the Lord.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about right there. Mm-hmm. So the voice that you hear is Mr. Ron Brewington. How you doing, sir?
I'm happy, brother. I'm happy to be alive, first and foremost. The Lord gave me another day above ground, so I love it.
That's what I'm talking about.
All I try to do is just take advantage of that day and do something good that day. That's all you can do.
Yeah, man. So let's do a little backstory on recently we got a chance to bump into each other. We was at the Hollywood Bowl. At the Hollywood Bowl, man. And it was just because I wasn't even going to go to the restroom and the concession stand at that time, but something told me to go. And as soon as I hit that aisle, I seen my man coming up.
Sure did.
I said, and it was kind of crazy because I hadn't even finished crafting this show yet.
Okay.
You know, I hadn't gotten everybody lined up for the industry part 2. And when I saw you, it was like, oh my God, you got to be old. You got to be. I don't know if you're gonna do it, but you got to be old. And we ran into each other.
Anytime you ask me, it's
oh, that's what I'm talking about, man. So first of all,
yes,
the show, the Black movie soundtrack. What did you think about it?
I thought it was off the hook. First of all, it was entertaining.
Right.
It was also very informative. The guy who did what's his name? Reginald Hudlin.
Yeah, Reginald Hudlin.
He really did his homework.
Yeah.
He showed us movies and clips from things that we hadn't seen in a
very long time.
And to see all those young people standing up, that was when blaxploitation was going on. To see that, it was really a knock. It was great for them. And then the music, he had some great artists. Wah Wah Watson was up there. Wah Wah Wah, that kind of thing. A lot of good folks were there. It was worth the ticket price. And more, and
it really was. Yeah,
I had a few comments that I wrote on Twitter about it. Folks, if you didn't see this show, you messed up.
Yeah,
it was
man.
really a nice show.
When Young Slab and them was down here last month, I took them to the Hollywood Bowl to see the James Brown tribute.
Oh yes,
yeah. So they got a chance to see that too. You know. So I try to go to a lot of different shows, you know, especially make an impact in our community. And when I saw those 2 shows on the bill, I was like, okay, I have to go to those. And like you said, Mr. Hudlin did a wonderful job. And I hope they keep it up, man.
I hope so, too, because there's so many artists they haven't even touched yet.
Right.
When you think back on R&B music and back in the day, what kind of music we had they set the foundation for what we hear today. And what we're hearing today, they're setting a foundation for the next generation.
Of course.
And it just keeps going on and on and on and on. But I always say, where was you when this record came out? I used to love to say that. And it gave people an opportunity as I sat there and looked at Superfly. Ron O'Neal and Sheila Frazier and Isaac Hayes. That song, Bad Mother. Watch your mouth. Shut your mouth. It was just a fabulous, it took me back. It really did. And my girlfriend, she was with me and she said, I'm glad we got a ticket. I said, yeah, you're right about that.
Right.
And then, of course, what put the icing on the cake was I bumped into you.
You bumped into me, man. That's what I'm talking about, man. It's like just having a great time at the Bowl, man, you know. And like I said, I go to shows all the time. And I'm not selfish because I will get several tickets. And I just tell people, just come and just enjoy it with me, man, you know.
That's what life is all about.
Yeah.
And we have so many venues here in Los Angeles. The Greek Theater, Hollywood Bowl.
I love the Greek. I'm down the street from the Greek, man. Right down the street from the Greek. I'm in out there in 5 minutes.
I only got one complaint about the Greek.
What's that?
Not enough oldies show.
Yeah, you're right. And they took the Soul 70 show away.
Right. Stylistics is gone.
It's gone, man.
I'm going to see them this coming weekend down at the Club Nokia.
Man.
That's Sunday. But every year, I've seen the Stylistics.
Yeah, me too.
Every year.
Yeah, and I always interviewed them too.
Right.
You know, I just can't believe they lost that, dude.
And I don't know why. I mean, they filled every seat in the venue. Yeah. It's not like they weren't making money.
Yeah,
they was doing it.
The Soul 70 show, man.
Oh God, that was a show.
I was like, what's it's not on here anymore.
Here's what I tell people: call 92.3 and let them know how you feel about it.
There you go.
That's because you have that power.
Yeah, you do.
And you should use it. Because it's what we are the audience. You know, rule number 1 for the audience. Rule number 1 is the audience is always right.
Yeah, you're right.
Rule number 2, if the audience is wrong, refer to rule number 1. Okay?
That's my man.
We always
That's
right.
my man. Keeping it 100, that's what I'm talking about, man. So, Mr. Brewington, you are a professor and you teach. Would you like to tell the people where you teach and what you teach?
Okay, sir. I teach currently. I'm an associate professor over at Santa Monica College. We've got some great facilities over there for anyone who's interested in getting into broadcasting. And in fact, I made a little note to myself to be sure before I got off this mic today to talk about it. If you live here in the greater Los Angeles area, the number 2 market in the country, and you want to get into broadcasting, there's a lot of people who want to be a star. To me, star is rat spelled backwards. That's the
well, you're right.
That's what it is. But we offer many, many things. We've got great courses. We've got great facilities. Like, for example, one of the classes that I know, I teach that class, we take a classroom and convert it into a studio. We move all the chairs around. We put up a set, background. We bring a camera in. We bring teleprompters in. If you can learn how to read or know how to read off a teleprompter, that's 6 figures. 6 figures. So you can make some good money here in L.A.
Right.
Most of the anchors make in the millions, just being an anchor here in Los Angeles. Yes, it does take time to get here. You got to start a little small city and work your way up. That's what it takes.
Allude to. I mean,
yes.
So, are you saying that if they were to take a class like that in L.A., that they most likely would have to move to another market
no
and
question.
They come back?
No question about it.
Okay.
Because there's too many professionals with too much experience in this town. They're only a phone call away. We have 87 radio stations in this town. If a slot came up, because most of the people who have a slot, they don't want to give it up anyway. They stay here for years.
Yeah.
But if it does come up, the program director will pick up the phone and call a friend of his and wherever he's at, usually in a big market, and say, come on in, come on down. You got a job. Even though they'll advertise for the job, someone has got the job already. So you really got to know somebody who knows somebody. In this town, this is a town all about who knows you and who you know. That's L.A. That's the way it is.
Yeah.
You know, I love the way they said L.A. I mean, they put that emphasis on when they talk about it. But you really have to know somebody. And so I tell a lot of young people, because I go out to the various high schools here in town and different places here in town, trying to recruit people for the broadcasting and journalism and other film programs that we have at that college. I also was I'm a past lecturer at USC and UCLA Extension, and then I used to teach over at West L.A. College.
Okay.
So I get around, and I like it. You know, for a guy who's 68 years old, 22 years in the United States Navy, this ain't a bad job.
Yeah.
I mean, I tell folks, I say, my schedule, I want to slap somebody. I said, I have a class on Monday night, 6:45 to 9:45. So I got all day Monday to do whatever business I want to take care of. Then I have a class on Tuesday morning at 8 a.m. until 9:30, and I'm done for the rest of the day.
That's what I'm saying.
Then on Wednesday, I come in at 12:45, do a class until 3:50, done for the rest of the day, could get the front end, back in, have a good time. And then Thursday, the same thing. So again, that's the kind of schedule I have. So a student would have a similar schedule.
Right.
And you're constantly learning. Like I tell a lot of students, I'm the instructor, that's right. But guess what? It don't stop there. Just because I got a bachelor's degree and a master's degree, that's nice. But you can teach me a lot.
Yeah.
If you have an open mind, you can learn anything you want to learn. The technology, I was talking to Andy, the engineer here. Right. You guys I wish people could see this studio, Skid Row Studios, downtown. It is the bomb. You guys
I fell in love with it, man, when the first time I saw it. And
yes,
this
sir.
And this is where I'm at, you know. Yeah. One thing I wanted to point out, too, is everything that you were saying about Santa Monica College is on point, because I myself took a class there.
Gotcha. Who's your teacher?
Mr. Dawson.
Frank Dawson.
Yeah,
okay.
Frank Dawson. Yeah. And the thing about it was, I had worked in the entertainment field since teenager.
Okay.
I mean, just knowing someone and got on and worked at a record label here and did some other stuff. I had my own video show and did this and was rolling, man. Just rolling. But what I realized too is that when I got to be a hot commodity down south, I figured that it was best for me to move around because I didn't have nowhere else to grow.
Right.
I had to move.
In that particular town.
A lot of people told me, in that particular town, a lot of people told me, out here, don't come. And I'm going to tell you the reason why they said that, because primarily I had a music video show. They said, and I heard a lot of people at the record labels told me this too. They say, you're our guy down there. What you're doing down there, we don't have nobody else doing. You're on the same level as a BET or a VH1 for us down south. That's what you are for us down there. We need you down there. If you come out here, you're not going to get the same attention that you're getting right now.
Right.
Plus, we don't know exactly, because we deal with so many different independent video shows. We don't know. We can't cater to you the way we're doing. And I listened to him, but I was like, no, whatever. Yeah. I've done all I can. I'm gone.
Right.
I came out here, and sure enough, it was almost like I had to start all over.
Oh, yeah, the syndrome.
Those same people that I was dealing with, they treated me like I was.
You're a small fish in a big pond.
I said,
that's what you are.
Oh, my God. And they told me that.
Mm-hmm.
And so I still did some more stuff in the industry. And it hit me one day, too, when I was taking like a little hiatus. I said, you know what? Out of all these jobs that I did in the industry, I never, ever took a course.
Right. I
never took a course.
You didn't know what officially FCC means.
Yeah, and I didn't know nothing.
And these courses will give you that foundation that you desperately need.
And I went back and took a course.
Amen. I hope you go back for some more.
Yeah, I will. I will, man. Yeah. Breaking down some knowledge, man. You breaking down some knowledge. You know, if you want to holler us, because we about to get deep here. We finna get ready to tackle this industry. 1-800-893-9562. 1-800-893-9562. We're going to take a break. Going to play these two songs. When we come back, we got some more folks on the industry side that's going to join us. So you know, if you want to chime in, you know what to do. If you're serious about this business and you want some answers, these people can answer those questions for you.
$2,000 would save my life.
Forget about my grown and sexy ladies. You know I like your body, don't you?
You sure looking good tonight, baby. I just wanna make sweet love to you tonight, baby. Come on. If you don't mind, you know. Let me tell you.
Hey there, sexy lady of my dream. Can I have you here with me? I just wanna love you down. And I'm making you scream my name. Oh, loving your body. I'll be kissing your body. And I'll be caressing your body. Oh, baby.
Indie Face Radio. I'm your host, Terrible T. We just hit you with that double play, man. Angie Fisher, IRS, man, and then my boy Slick with Your Body. Great music, man. Indie artists, man, they just been blessing us, man, and we trying to play as much music as possible. My main man, Condeezy, text me. He's not going to be able to call in. He's still kissing babies. He kissing the baby, man. So congratulations, man, to you, man. The little prince is in the house, man. So we was just talking to Mr. Ron Brewington, man. We had two other people that just came in on the discussion. We still got my main man, Brett Diesmute, going to be calling in. So from Mogadam Entertainment out of Atlanta. So we got two people who just joined in with us. I'm going to let them introduce themselves.
Hey, guys, what's going on out there? My name is David Bianchi, writer, executive producer, and also co-star of a new feature film called Dysfunction that we just wrapped production on.
Okay. All right, then, man. And also, I got my main man.
Jump into it. Hello, I'm Ryan Bantu. I'm an independent producer and director, mostly in commercials.
Okay. All right. So, David, man.
Yes, sir.
A little backstory with you. I actually got a chance to meet you last year at the Hollywood Black Film Festival. We was in line, remember?
Mm-hmm. Actually, wait a second. Was it at the Hollywood Black Film Festival?
It was the Hollywood Black Film Festival.
Or was it Versus and Flow?
Oh, you know what? You're right.
It was Versus and Flow.
It was Versus and Flow.
Yeah. We met at Versus and Flow.
Right,
I was one of the poets on season 3 of Versus and Flow.
You are so right.
That's right.
Are so right.
That's right. In fact, we met and I spit a poem at you, and
yes,
then we ended
did.
up having a very long conversation. And you worked in the jazz division at Playboy.
You got a great memory.
That's what you need in this business.
You got a great memory, man.
I remember exactly where I was with Sufi Bradshaw that night. And Sufi's one of my very, very close friends. She's on the HBO show Veep.
Yeah.
So that's exactly where we met. But
Versus and Flow, yeah.
That
was a great look, man. I love that. And what you did that night was very nice, man. Very nice.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, it's always nice to see black art get out there in any way, shape, or form, as long as it's done properly.
Yeah.
And let us not play the modern day minstrel out in this business anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, you know what? Before we go into my main man Ryan, I think we got a caller on it. It may be Brett. So let's find out who's on the line. Caller, you on the air? Caller? Do we got a caller on the air? Hello. Well, hopefully they get it back in a minute. So, Band 2, what's up, man? What's up with that? So, I've been knowing you for a while, man. I know that you are director, executive producer. I want to tell some of the people some of the projects that you've been working on in the past.
Yeah, well, my field is mostly commercials.
Commercials, right.
So I work with a lot of what we call consumer electronic brands. That's headphone companies, tech companies.
Okay.
Wheels are spinning. As a director, anybody that wants you, you go with them.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, and that brings me back to now. I'm thinking now when you said that because I have seen you at a lot of those events, and now it's coming together. All the headphones and events like that, and I know that you was connected with these people. I just didn't know your full backstory on maybe you done some stuff with them in the past, whatever. But I know that you were, you was out and about and you was had done some stuff. And I know that you had done some music videos. You directed those, and I know that you had a couple of film projects. I don't know where they are right now, but I know that you was working on a few of those. So. Are you primarily in one area, or are you just pretty much your company pretty much is?
Commercials are bread and butter. Music videos in my lane have sort of died out. There's only budget wise, there's only a few that you can really get enjoyment, and you really have to enjoy the artist to give your best. I know we have a mutual friend, Dorsey.
Right.
And I directed
he was on last month.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So he has an artist named Chaz Shepard. And Chaz Shepard,
right.
it was one of those records that when when it was played, it meant something to me. It was about,
Right.
I think his album's called Love and Truth. It was about family relationships. And so, at this stage in my career, to really give your best, you have to care about the artist or care about the project. And so you pick and choose based upon that. So music videos are, if something special comes along, definitely I'll do it. But my first is definitely commercials, and secondary is independent film.
Now, is that primarily when you said that, because I know the industry has changed, and it's just that labels are not shelling out those big budgets videos, or I ain't gonna say big budget, but a budget that you can work with,
that you can eat off.
Yeah, you can eat off of.
You like I said, every answer I'll give will always have two sides. It's always a show side and a business side. The show side, you really, if you want to see your name up there, you'll do whatever. But and then the business side is also that what you put out influences somebody. And so I think we can all say, maybe for the past, off and on the past 20 years, every viewer will look out there and say, man, it's all the same, right? And so one thing that Hollywood does is it follows trends. And so if there are artists that are looking to do something different, that excites me. I get excited, we can do it. But what happens in music video land is labels will send out a record to production companies, and production companies will then give it to their directors. And you have to write a treatment or a concept. Trust me, I think I'm talented, but some of the big songs, I can't write it. Right. I can't do it. And so then you'll see the video once it's produced, you'll be like, oh wow, okay. Yeah. And that's if you are an artist first.
Okay,
right?
yeah.
If you're an artist first, then you will you will be true to this business. You'll be true to the people that you serve, which is the audience.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I tell you what, those tequila people, they did not show up. Going up to 10 cases. 10 cases, and I'm going to pass it on to everybody. But one person I can always depend on, though we thought we had him just a few minutes ago, but I think we got him now, Mr. Brett Dismuke, president of Mogadam Entertainment. What's up, Brett? What's up? What's up?
Hey, what's going on, family? How y'all feeling tonight?
Hey, man, we got some folks up in here, man. We're just doing a roundtable discussion, man. So you are president of Mogadam Entertainment, and you're calling from Atlanta?
Yes, sir.
Can you tell us a little bit about Mogadam Entertainment and what do they do and what are your job duties?
Right. Well, basically, Mogadam has a portfolio of 9 websites that include Gossip, Madame Noir, Hip Hop Wired, so on and so forth. And we decided to start a film division, and that division, currently we produce documentaries that discuss debates that are going on in our communities that, quite frankly, Hollywood, they're afraid to tell those stories, whether they're not interested or it just doesn't move their needle. But we're interested in what the people, have to say. And so we're currently doing documentaries. We're getting into scripted series, some feature films, some stand-up comedy, and we're launching a digital channel coming up next month, Madame Noir TV.
Okay. So,
yeah, we're trying to get it in.
Well, you know what, man? Since I got you all here, this is for anybody. We all of color and working in the industry. What do you think the state of black actors and actresses right now in Hollywood? Are they in a good place? And the reason why I say this is because there's a lot of people who are saying right now that they are somewhat satisfied because a lot of people are now on the small screen. A lot of people are now on the big screen. What do you guys take on it? Is there any more improvement that you need to see? Are you satisfied with the amount of programming that you're seeing now? I mean, just to be honest.
I'll take a quick stab at that, and then I'll pass the mic.
Okay.
I think that we're in the best place that we've ever been in. I mean, everything considered, that cinema is only about 100+ years old. And that, the reality of it is that 10 years ago, the Screen Actors Guild did a poll and proved that African Americans only fill 9% of the talent pool. And over the last 11 years, we've only gained 1.2 percentage points. And so However, with all that being said, we now have more statues, we now have more accolades, we now have more awards, we now have bigger roles, and we're sort of being more infused into the diaspora of what is entertainment. But at the end of the day, there's still a tremendous amount of work to do.
Right.
Am I content? I'm never content. I'm never content until the playing field is relatively level, which I still think is probably at least 100 years away. But what we're doing right now by sitting in this room and having this discussion is that we are continuing to push the plow. And we're following the footsteps of our predecessors, which is opening up avenues, being black directors, black producers, black writers, or not even just black, Latino, Pacific Islander, and or other, anything besides the status quo. So that as we climb up the echelon and get into a position where we're creating content that is written with ethnic characters, then we will be able to broaden the casting space. Unfortunately, I can't blame the actors. I have to blame the infrastructure, because the infrastructure is predominantly white. So they're creating content for white characters, and that's because the audiences, television, mainstream cinema, we've been educated to believe what our superheroes, i.e. our movie stars, are supposed to look like.
Right.
And it's been a long-term conditioning since the early days of cinema. And then we go all the way back to the minstrel shows and then blah, 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 blah. But I think that we're in the best place that we could possibly be in, as long as we don't segregate ourselves. We have to look at infusing ourselves into what is already in place, as opposed to saying, I'm going to make a black movie. I'm going to make a black film festival. I believe that as soon as we do that, we ostracize ourselves, because we then create the fear factor of this is only a black thing. So all you white people over there, you can't have this, because at the end of the day, black audiences, unfortunately, don't really support black content. And that's proven statistically. So I think that we have to figure out how to maneuver within the storm and move through it, as opposed to trying to shuck and jive it and create what we think is the right answer. But anyways, we're in the best place that we've ever been in, I think.
Mr. Brewington?
Well, I've seen progress. Like we had the first black president. We now have a black woman who's the president of the Screen Actors Guild.
Right.
It's taken a long time for that to happen. There's a lot of work that still has to be done. Last weekend here in Los Angeles, we had a West Coast theater festival. A lot of black actors and actresses who I've heard over the years who really had no work. They now have work to do, but unfortunately, the roles for older people are not there. It's a young generation that they're looking for right now. That's what Hollywood's trying to make their money off of. I kind of disagree a little bit with what he said about the fact that blacks don't go, as far as black movies are concerned. White folks go to black movies more than you can imagine. They go there more than we do. Like Hispanics go to see soul music more than we do. But the idea is that it's there. There's so much. There's a big pot, and we were there a long time ago. The Latinos are moving. There's a lot of other minorities that are moving and making their own thing. We got Tyler Perry. We got people like that who they're people. They're doing things. They're trying to do something right now. But there's a lot more work that needs to be done. The generation that we've had before. I came out of that generation, and I've seen us struggle.
Right.
But we're moving up on now. Like last night, I had a chance to see a new movie on ABC, a television sitcom called Blackish.
Blackish, right.
And I thoroughly enjoyed what I saw. I saw old actors. I saw Lawrence Fishburne.
Right.
He's older.
Because Lawrence would have been debated at 8 old now.
Well, he's my age. He's about my age. I'm 68.
Okay.
I'm not saying that. But you have younger people. You had some young actors in there who they talk differently, they act differently. You look at them and go, interesting. Remember, even though that's what the story is all about, trying to be black when you've been bombarded with other races throwing their stuff at you.
Blackish.
Like we used to give each other the high five and all that good stuff like that. Everybody's doing that now. Mm-hmm. We used to own that stuff. Hey, man, give me 5. Yeah. That ain't happening no more. Yeah. And so you have to understand the generation, as the technology evolves, so the people have to evolve.
Mr. Dismuke, you want to get in on this?
Oh, man, absolutely. So, the two brothers just threw out a lot of great points. One thing that I want to touch on is the first gentleman, he said a relative playing field. We have the emphasis is on relative because
Amen.
Even though we are not equal, and I'm saying we, I'm speaking from the black perspective right now.
Right,
and I realize that there are a number of races that, want their shine as well. But I'm gonna throw out some numbers from the black perspective. And a lot of times when I'm doing panels or I'm talking to filmmakers or actors, you know, they talk about it's not equal, you know, it's not fair, but the numbers dictate that. So if the numbers say to us, black folks are, you know, 11 to 14% of the American population, but we over-index in television and box office sales, right? What does that mean? That means that even though we're 11 to 14% of the country, but we're accounting for 25% of all television watched. We're accounting for 25% of all box office receipts. But yes, that is a large number, but what people fail to realize, that's still only a fourth. So as long as those are the numbers, the studios and the networks are looking at those numbers, and you show me a business plan for anything, I don't care what the product is, you show me a business plan where the target audience of that business is an overall minority, and I'll show you a trick to it. And so, you know, there is a double-edged sword there, because we're asking for equality, but the numbers don't justify equality when it comes to number of roles, number of shows. Now, with that said, I also think that Black America in particular, we like to discredit a lot of things.
Right.
So when I look around, I see 5 or 6 original shows on BET. I see 3 shows on TV One. I see Byron Allen doing 4 original scripted shows. I see shows on OWN. I see shows on Bounce, right? Not to mention the ABCs and the Showtimes of the world. But what people tell me all the time when I'm out here interacting with the filmmaking community is, oh, but those shows are on BET. That doesn't count. Oh, those shows are on Bounce. That doesn't count. Why doesn't that count? You know, because the people that came before us, you know, that paved the way for us to have networks that are targeted to us. Why are we now discrediting those networks and saying, oh, well, that's all fine and good, but how come we don't have more shows on CBS? We can't have it both ways.
Brett, and I've been in discussions like that too. People, like you say, that's a great show, like you said, but it's on this network or that network, and it's more of people have this idea or this concept of where they may like the show, but they can't, for some reason or other, they just can't wrap their brain around the fact that, well, why couldn't it been on an ABC or an NBC or a CBS? So, and I can't really answer it. I'm just telling you what I've heard.
Well,
they don't trust. I think they really don't trust those networks to deliver all the way. All the way through to the end, to see their vision of that show. To its fullest capacity. That's what I'm thinking. I don't know. Whoa. because a lot of times what they're saying is that, okay, you had a show on there and then all of a sudden it's no longer there no more. Well, you guys didn't put that effort into. Well, that's just the same old BET. You know, they just can't get it together.
Well, I'm sorry. Was somebody trying to speak?
Yeah. Go ahead, Banter. Okay. You want to get in this?
But I think if we're sitting here telling the truth, I think we understand, what the attitude is towards those networks.
Right.
It's just like, I'm a lot younger than the second gentleman that spoke. I'm almost 40 years old. But in my lifetime, I've been told things like, get a white lawyer. right? Or you can fill in the blank. Get this, get that. Don't do this with fill in the blank. But I think that type of mentality then translates into, well, if the show is on BET, it can't be as good as the shows on NBC, which is absolutely false.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so, I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say, I agree with your commentary about, what is considered in the industry secondary networks, BET, the ones and whatnot. And I think that it's incredibly positive that we have those opportunities. And I believe that we should certainly not discredit it, because at the end of the day, the statue of David was a piece of stone first. And so what we are doing is we are essentially chipping away at the grindstone. And I think that as America, as a melting pot, continues to infuse itself, the races don't go away until the races die. You know what I'm saying?
Bantu, I want you to really hold on, Brett. Go ahead, Bantu.
I'll start with that original question, like what's the state of black actors? And I think everything we talk about has almost like three different components. It's always show, it's always business, and then it's a little bit of politics. But we have to remember also that, acting or entertainment, for the most part, it's not like it's chosen you, right? Like most people decide they want to be in this business,
right?
And this business can handle talent and no talent. They both coexist. They both make money. They frustrate. They inspire. Black actors will act for free if it's good, right? And they'll also act in the worst project if they get paid, because it feeds something else. It's not like you're a brain surgeon. It's not the most necessary of businesses. It does entertain. It does inspire. But people come every day. Say, I want to make it, and so the business part of this is that a lot with the BET situation, I think a lot of people have a hard time, and this happened to me for a moment. It took a minute for me to get over the foundation of BET, right? And that's what that's what happens with a lot of the shows. We look at them, we say, oh, it's BET. Is it the old BET? Almost like you could say like old Germany, right? And sometimes it takes just a moment.
I think that's where I'm getting at. Yeah. No, go ahead, Brett, because I know that you're a busy man, man. We want to make sure you.
It's all good, but I will say that it's all about perception. Okay, so in the 80s, if you did what was considered a non-theatrical film, those were called B movies, right?
Right.
And because it didn't go to the theater, it was considered less than. But what happened was, as the digital world started to grow, and as talent started to understand the business of an independent film, a lot of people have chosen to not spend a lot of money in raising P&A and putting films in the theaters, and they've chosen to do films that cost a lot less and release them independently, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it still was frowned upon until the Jennifer Anistons, the Woody Harrelsons, the Reese Witherspoons, the Tommy Lee Jones. When these people started doing independent films, and that we were distributing right along, with the films that star, all of our black actors, then it became, in the trade magazines, great way to do business.
Right.
Actors making more money off of independent films than big features, blah, blah, blah. But my point in saying that is, going back to your original question, there are more black actors on television and doing films today than in any other time in the history of the film and television business.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we don't acknowledge it.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? We don't acknowledge it.
That is a hotbed topic.
Yeah, it's a hotbed topic.
Yeah,
and
we're in the bubble. We acknowledge
it. Let me tell you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
We're in the bubble. We acknowledge. I think we're but you know what? That's one of the things I think we have to get stop being so polite about. There's British film, it's unapologetic. There's Chinese film, it's unapologetic. Because in Hollywood it's such a relationship business, a lot of people feel, a lot of people threaten and feel threatened if they say they're making a black film. Just make it a good film with pride, and it registers.
Yes, yeah, and that's the thing. And I was also going to jump in on you, sir, the gentleman that's on the telephone, is that there's such
Mr.
Dismute. There's such a thing that's called guilty by association. And, at the end of the day, stereotypes are based on fact. Let's just not get it twisted. The vast majority of the kind of content that you see online and the vast majority of the content that these, street hustle filmmakers are making is shit. I mean, it's just bad content. Right. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of it is, and now I'm talking about from a production value, from a cinematic perspective, from an actual construct of production storytelling is lackluster.
If you're in the
some of it.
Now, for example, there are guys that are making black films that are world premiering at TIFF.
Right.
Yeah, but that's your.
I want to throw one
Go ahead,
thing
Mr.
I want to throw one thing into that. You are absolutely right. There are a lot of independent films that are shit films. But if you run down the list of all the films that have been released in the theaters in the last 3 months, half of those are shit films as well.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So and I don't want to, and I'm gonna say this to make a point, but if anyone saw Grown Ups 2, you know that's not a good film.
No, it's not.
However, it had the stars. It made X millions of dollars, but that filmmaker was not called out and told you made a shit film.
Right.
They said, oh, you had a film with Adam Sandler and Chris Rock and so on and so forth. So bad filmmaking is just rampant on all levels. So, you know what I mean? So, but again, we pick and choose when we want to call out people for their artistic expression and when we want to call out people for making money, because there are a number of actors that are taking certain roles just to play the mortgage.
Well, I tell you what, man.
When you say bad movies, what most of you talk about, like this James Brown movie that came out recently, a lot of people jumped all over because everybody who was in primary positions in that movie was white.
It's a great film, though.
It's a great film. And the actor who played James Brown was great. And I say, I hope he gets an Academy nomination. But this, as we all have said, we all think we all realize, this whole business, it's a business. It's about money.
It's a straight business.
And we're talking, you were just talking politics.
Right.
That's politics.
Right.
It was a great line in this movie called North Dallas 40. And I think it was John, I forget his name, but he was like, every time I want to talk about a game, you want to call it a business. Every time I want to call it a business, you want to call it a game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that we can ever call a film shit, or anything, because art is arbitrary. And one person's The Godfather is another person's Howard the Duck.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And so my wife has never seen Carlito's Way. I think Carlito's Way is one of the best films ever. It'll come on, I'll stop. She'll walk right by it. Art fills a need. Show fills a need. The business of Grown Ups 2 was probably that, hey, we need a summer comedy. It needs to be this budget and it needs to gross this amount so we can make this quarter and our investors are happy. And I think that the audience has to understand that. Support filmmakers, support artists. They give it to you every time. Right. Todd Solondz, Sofia Coppola.
Yeah, no, I mean, look,
Spike.
Look, I mean, Robert Rodriguez said it best. You got 10 really bad films to get out of your system before you start making good films. Now, and I think that when I speak about that, I'm speaking at it from a professional moniker of what is anticipated. It's like, if I say I'm a DJ, right, the ability to mix is kind of like understood. You know what I'm saying? So if I get up on the decks and I can't beat match, I'm a shit DJ. You know? So
well, I tell you what,
I was in a DJ mix.
I tell you what,
3 years.
That's right, because they're all dropping records now. Yeah,
we got about 15 minutes left on the show, but since we touched on the industry and how it has progressed and where we are now, I want you guys to tell me what changes would you like to see on the big and small screen going forward.
Good question. I will say this. There are thousands of scripts that get seen by Hollywood all year long.
Right.
You might get anywhere from 1,200 to 1,500 movies that actually make it to the screen every year.
Mm-hmm.
So it really is. And then, again, as directors, you guys know, you love what you do. You see that that's your art.
It's a passion because you hear it. You hear it.
You love it. You fine-tuning and getting it right. You start first of all with a script. Then you go get the casting. Then you go get all these other people and put it all together. And then you sit there and you put it up on the screen. You look about, I don't like that. Let's reshoot that again. Let's do that again. So you never, ever, ever get the finite. You're never satisfied.
No.
You guys are never satisfied. Never. But we as the consumers, turning it around, we're the consumers. We want to see something that's going to either entertain us or inform us. We want to get away from reality and just sit down for a few minutes and 2 hours and look at a film that's going to satisfy.
And that's not what directors want to do.
That's it. That's what
we want to. We want to move you.
Right.
I mean, there's not you show me anyone who watches Rocky and it doesn't come on when he finds that moment, or The Karate Kid, when you find that moment, or for women, The Notebook. I mean, movies are powerful. They have the ability to change people's lives.
Right.
That's why it should be a responsibility. What happens is that we have a split where some people are coming to take and some people are coming to give. And if you're just coming to take from this business, then that's why you see what you see. Real quickly, I was at the FX premiere of Sons of Anarchy. Kurt Sutter was speaking. The show's going off the air. He said he talked about his maybe leaving FX at one time. He turned on the television. He said there was 500 channels of dribble. That's what most people think, and that's because we have there's not imbalance anymore. The business is overtaking the show, and that's why we have what we have. That's why there's always going to be debate.
Oh yeah. I mean, when you look at Spielberg versus Scorsese arguing, what format am I going to use? Am I going to use HD or am I going to use the old felt format? Right. And there's a bunch of directors just arguing about it. So who's the beneficiary of that? The audience. Yeah. We sit there. We're conditioned to know what we like to see. We will go in there and then you got these critics. They're going to sit there and say, well, that movie ain't worth this and that movie ain't worth this. So the question is, when will we ever get a movie that's going to satisfy everybody?
Well, I tell you what,
David, satisfy all four quadrants.
No falling on cedars. That's the movie right.
Before our time runs out, David, you have a movie. You talk about it.
Yeah, I just wrapped production on a feature film called Dysfunction, which I wrote, produced, executive produced, and also co-starred in it. Thank you very much. And anybody that's ever produced a feature film knows. I don't care if it is a shit film or if it's a good film, whatever. That's to be determined. It's effing hard.
Yeah, it really is.
And especially when you're a person of color and we're not afforded a lot of opportunities, which is why this discussion is even in play. We're having our rap party next Friday at 601 Sound Stages in Burbank, 5,000 square foot sound stage, turntablism, break dance, and it'll play into it. You guys are all more than welcome to attend. Please, you guys are all my VIP guests. It's an opportunity to put a rung in the belt to be able to build a platform, to have the opportunity to continue to create content.
Right.
Whether it's a shot on a sprocket or whether it's shot on a 1 and a 0, and it's called Dysfunction, and it's a story of 6 Hollywood types that all live in a 16,000 square foot decrepit mansion, and the only thing that ties them together is they all have rooms for rent on Craigslist. And when I wrote the script, I specifically wrote it diverse. You got an Indian Punjabi, you got a black dude from Juilliard who's a germaphobe, you got a C-level webcam porn chick, you got a Gore-Effects makeup artist, so you got all this chaos going on. But my final thought on your question is just that the only improvement that I hope for is that it starts at home. That it starts in our communities where we can sort of build something in our homes that teaches our youth to understand, respect, and appreciate art. Because if you don't have that foundation where it starts at home and then in our inner city schools or in our lesser funded schools where children appreciate art and understand that art is a viable option for them, they won't pursue cinema. They won't pursue television because it won't make sense to them. They'd rather be a union guy and bust their backs out, because that's how they're educated. That's what they're taught. So I hope that as minorities, no matter what minority you are, that we can educate our generations today and inspire them and fill them with vigor to understand that this is a viable option for you. And you can do it. If it can be perceived, it can be achieved.
Mr. Dismuke,
yes, sir.
We would like for you to just tell us what current projects you're working on and how people can get in contact with you if they have an idea or a project in mind.
Okay, so we have a full slate of films going on right now. Most notably, we are world premiering our film Hating Obama at the Urban World Film Festival next Friday, September
The name of
19th.
it is what now again?
Hating Obama.
Hating Obama. Okay.
Hating Obama.
Watch out for the drones.
As I stated before, we take certain topics that are being debated in our community, and we don't pick a side. It is not up to us to tell you what you should think. All we do is present information, data, interviews from both sides of the argument, and let the debate continue. So next Friday night, if you're in New York at the Urban World Film Festival, come out, check us out at 5:30. Another one of our films is called Bleaching Black Culture. That documentary will be premiering at the International Film Festival of Nashville, as well as the Bronze Lens Film Festival in Atlanta. Both of those film festivals are in October. But, you know, like I said, we have a full slate. At the end of this year, we will have 17 films in the can, and we're shooting another 15 next year. If anyone has a film idea and wants to get at me, you can always reach me at bdismuke@moguldom.com. That's BDISMUKE@moguldom.com.
Mr. Dismuke, I got a question for you. Is Atlanta trying to replace Hollywood?
Well, you know, that's a loaded question. But
it's already happening.
You know, hey, but let me say this. I mean, you know, the mass exodus to Atlanta started with the tax incentives, you know, but before Atlanta, or I should say Georgia, there was Louisiana. At one point, there was North Carolina. At one point, there was Florida. And so it's a revolving door. But at the end of the day, people's money on the production side goes a lot farther when you're outside of California, right, and New York. Right. But now, you know, those two states are trying to do things to get people to come back in. So we'll see what happens. But, you know, I could safely say right now Atlanta is definitely Black Hollywood.
Yeah, most definitely. Hey, Mr. Dismuke, man, I appreciate you calling in, man. You've always got my back, man. Hey, man, you know, Cohen had a little baby yesterday, man.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Little Cohen.
Yeah. He in the world now, man.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey,
and I do want to say something to Mr. Dismuke. Like, definitely congratulations to him. I'm aware of him. He has a huge following. He's doing a lot of projects. He's not talking about it. They're putting out projects, and that's what you have to do. So, Moguldom Studios is I'm always impressed and proud of them. I see all the banner ads. They're doing current content, and we should applaud this brother because he's not sitting back talking about. He's not a woulda, coulda, shoulda like Lil Boozy and 2 Chainz. He's doing stuff.
Well, you know, Brett, me and you go back like 3 flat tires.
Oh yeah.
And anytime, you know, I need you, you know, you there. And I've told you this many times before. Boy, when I get my film project together, I'm gonna send it to you.
hey, send it to me, man.
I will. Hey, man, appreciate you calling in, man.
All right, thank you. Hey,
right,
y'all brothers have a good night too.
You too,
all right,
brother.
Take care.
All right, pleasure to meet you.
Brett Dismuke, man. Hey, man. Well, we got a little bit more time, man. I want to. You know, you guys have been in situations where you've actually had to pitch, or someone pitched to you. What are some of the common mistakes that you've seen that people make, or that you have made yourself, if you want to be that open, on pitching your projects to executives?
I'll say one of the common mistakes is believing that you are your project from beginning to end. You'll walk into a room and you believe you have all the answers. That your idea, your concept, your cast ideas, your location ideas, what's in your mind, everyone's gonna like. And what you have to understand about this, it's really like having a baby and then giving your baby up like the baby Jesus. You got to give it up and understand that you will not pay for it, and you will not be the one that buys the tickets. Right. It's or you'll just be in the theater by yourself. That's one of the biggest.
we call it ego.
Yeah. So
let your ego.
Let your ego collaborate.
Please, let it go.
Mr. Brewington?
I've seen a lot, along with what my brother just said. It's so true. You know, when you come into this, like I said, there's thousands of scripts that come to Hollywood every year. Only a few hundred of them make it there. It is very, the business itself calls for creativity. And I've seen too many people, they don't have an open mind. They have attitude problems. You leave all that stuff, understand what we've all said here. This is a business.
Yeah, it's right.
And treat it like a business. Go in there, go to school, get some education about business.
Yeah, that's right.
Decide learning how to make a movie, get a little business background. They ain't gonna hide you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that at the core of it, whether I'm pitching someone or someone is pitching me, whoever is delivering the idea, you have to believe it in your heart, mind, body, and soul. It has to live in your physiological mathematics if that even exists.
Right.
Because if whoever's pitching the idea or receiving the pitch, wherever the message is coming from, if that person doesn't believe that this is the greatest thing since sliced bread, and can't deliver it in a way that's fast, eloquent, concise, to the point, that covers the project from inception to distribution.
Right.
If you can't do that, get the fuck out the room.
Yeah.
What are you doing? You're not prepared.
And let me tell you, I've had the luxury of being on the Pitchathon panel for the Hollywood Black Film Festival. And I work at Playboy, so people pitch us ideas all the time, not just for adult content. You have to understand we have other divisions too. You know, we have the Playboy Jazz Festival and other things. We have the TV shows and all that kind of stuff on E! Entertainment. So I'm in those because I work in international. It has to appeal internationally.
Absolutely.
So I'm in the international side of so I sit in, like people say, hey, Ty, you need to sit in on this because this might be something that might work with our clients over in Australia somewhere. So I'm sitting in this. And one thing that I take away from people who come in and pitch at Playboy is a lot of times, if it's your project, it's your baby. You wrote it. It's your thing. A lot of times, you might not be the one that need to be doing the pitching.
Right.
Yep.
Okay. Give it up. Give it up. Because either you are not that great of a speaker, or you don't know a whole lot about it, because they're going to try to trip you up on a couple of questions.
Oh, yeah, it's a Shark Tank.
And you have to be ready. You have to be ready, especially when they start throwing them numbers at you and you have no idea. You have no idea.
And if you find yourself in the room, of a studio or network, someone has vouched for you.
Right.
So what I think is there's no apparatus set up for, if we're talking young, not young, but people of color to pitch, like where would you go to find out how to pitch? You can't just go on to, you can't just download a book. There has to be someone who's been through it, failed or succeeded, and passes that knowledge on. And I don't know who's doing that right now.
I'll tell you one lady, Tanya Kersey. I've been with her ever since she started the Hollywood Black Film Festival.
Okay.
And she has all these seminars. She brings all these brothers, other folks, and no matter what the color is, because green is the color. And she brings me in. I've been with her since she started it.
So we got to get that word out.
There needs to be emporiums. Like there's big emporiums for Latino people, but there's not big emporiums for blacks. For the minority African American community.
Guys, we got 1 minute left. Okay. How can people get in contact with you, man? You want to throw any socials out there?
Well, which people first?
all of you.
I'm listed, and everybody knows me. BRON215@AOL.com. They know my telephone number. No problem.
My name's David Bianchi, Bianchi. You can look me up on IMDb, find me anywhere on the internet, Google me, or you can look at my production company, exertionfilms.com, EXERTION films.com.
I'm Ryan Bantu. My company is called Smug Karma. We're listed. And you can see us out in the streets. It's L.A. We all know everybody.
Well, hey,
we all know each other, I should say.
I appreciate you guys coming in and breaking it down, man, because I can have you guys on, man. We can do like 3 hours, man.
Yeah, we just barely scratched the surface.
Because we was filling in from the tequila company, man.
12 cases. 12 cases.
12, yeah. Terrible T, Indie Face Radio, man. Shout out to Corn Deezy and the little one. Until next time, man. 1-800-893-9562, Indie Face Radio.